Yeah, because I didn't get an email today.
You didn't get an email.
Well, it might be in my trash.
That's how much your email thinks of this.
And I have no message in call messages.
somebody
There's
coming.
nothing there.
Hey,
I got mine.
there's a camera there or a camera there. All they're seeing is a waving hand.
I got Cheryl's.
Oh,
Yes. Okay.
So when you click on that
over
new
here,
one,
Yuya.
do you click?
Now do it. Right there. Yuya's trying to say hi.
So when you get that,
Hi, Yuya. Yeah. Look into the camera. Which one?
Yeah. Well, and I
if
got
we
him.
talk, we won't see her.
I got him flipping back and forth. So every time she looks at one, it's the other camera. Wasn't intentional. Am I still here? Good.
You're doing fine now.
Awesome.
I put the link in the chat, Judy.
and I got your link. Thank you.
Oh, you
So
didn't,
do you
didn't get
actually
mine?
go ahead and click on it right away?
Oh, mine didn't get
Cheryl.
pasted.
Did you go ahead and click on it
Yes.
at the beginning?
I have the two open. I can see the two tabs right now. And the other one is ready for me just to go. Now, last time when I did that, it didn't go, and I had to try it again. But I've got it open on.
Yeah, see, mine didn't work last time at all. I had to go back to the email to do it. So
Yeah.
Mine, I had them both open, and when we were finally moving over to it, it wasn't ready with a join button. I had to hit a refresh for it to come back and be ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that took forever because I was having the same internet problem I'm having today. I'm going to be fine until I'm not. Everything's going to come across fine until all of a sudden it's just going to squeeze into nothing, and you're going to find that I've petered out. And then I'll be back. Hey, Jim. Hey, in case you're just joining us, I have just hit the streaming button. We're going out on YouTube as well as in our regular meet. I am Scott Stimson with International Computer Solutions, starting a few minutes early because we've got such a great group of people that decided to show up early. And there's no more testing that I have to do. Everything seems to be working. And we started the meeting talking about a little follow-up on getting the vaccination information into the Sonoran database, which I have not been able to successfully add my Arizona experience, my second vaccination, to the Sonoran database. I've tried twice, but it hasn't happened.
But Jim is driving.
Jim, and somebody's ringing.
Somebody's phone is ringing.
That's me. Sorry.
Are you driving, Jim?
No, actually, I'm in a shop having new wheels put on the RV.
Oh,
But I did disconnect the mic there, so you shouldn't be hearing that phone.
well, we can hear you, so if you're not muted. Now you're muted.
Yeah, he's.
Well, did everybody get a copy to the document that we've been maintaining this week? I don't want us to feel married to this document. This is just a suggestion if we run out of topics or we're looking for topics. These are the things that have been collected over the last week that I thought would be interesting, or anybody that's invited to the document would find interesting. They've added something to it. And so I just put that link in our chat if you guys want to take a look at that.
Oh, you put in the chat? I was looking at the email and I couldn't find it there. Oh, there it is.
Is it in the email? I gotta put it in the email, don't I?
It wasn't in the email.
Yeah, I did not put it in the email this week. I need to standardize. Damn it. So, how are you guys doing? Everybody's good? Brought your own
Because
topics?
when it opened the link,
Say again, Judy?
I said, when you put that link in our chat, it does not automatically open. I have to sign into Google, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's the only way you're able to see a Google document is using your Google account. Because you have editor privileges on it. And nobody else should be in our document but you. And Cheryl. And Bill. And anybody else that's interested.
Oh, I see.
Anyone else that's gotten a copy of the link. I see Bill and Cheryl in the document right now. We could have our own little chat right here, a site. We make fun of the people that we're meeting with. Look at Paul's head's exploding.
Yeah.
So did anybody show up with a topic that's burning on their tongue that would like to, is there a check-in you feel like you want to do with
I
us?
like to think of it as Paul has got a new.
I'm going to have to leave momentarily, but I have a recommendation. I watched a movie yesterday, and I figure that's the best way for me to do it because then I can remember the title for a day. And it was Ready Player One.
Oh, that's an awesome movie.
And
Oh.
it's an awesome movie, and as a non-player, it was still interesting to me, but I'm sure I missed a lot of aspects to it.
Well, and if you grew up in 80s
What's it
culture
about?
like I did, it's full of 80s pop culture references.
Well, I was raising my kids during the 80s, so I was isolated from culture.
Well, your kids would probably, they'd be a good ones to watch the movie with then because they would be jumping up and down at all the different references they recognize.
Yeah, well, my youngest was a gamer, and her son is a gamer, so yeah, I'm sure they would like it. He's
Did you
he's
say
27.
rated? What is the movie called?
Ready Player One.
Scott's gone.
Am I gone? I'm gone again. I'll be back.
Well, Scott's gone. It seems like we jumped into recommendations, but I watched a couple this week too. Geez. I'm like you, Paul. I remembered last night, but I don't know if I'm going to remember this morning. The one was a kid's animation that I watched with my grandson. And in English, you'd say Vivo, but in Spanish, Bibo. And it's a musical. A creature from Cuba is an animal. I can't remember what they're called. And anyways, and a musician. It's a cute, fun little movie. The other one was Jason Momoa, the Hawaiian
Right.
actor.
And he's
he had one-
Aquaman now.
From,
He's the new
from
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. And this one was him and his daughter, the good girl? No, sweet girl. Sweet girl.
That's on Netflix.
Yeah, that was on Netflix, and it was good. I kind of started it, and I thought, oh, this is all mixed martial arts, and it's a little too violent for me, and I'm not really getting much out of it. But I went back to it, and it's got a really neat twist, which I will not spoiler for you. I recommend watching it. It's kind of neat concept.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm a fan of Jason Momoa. I've been a fan of, he did Stargate Atlantis TV show, and that's where I was first aware of him. And I've always enjoyed him. I learned later that he got his start in Baywatch with David Hasselhoff. And he doesn't look anything like he did back then when he was a teenager. I mean, he was tall, but that was it. Not this hairy gruff that he wears all the time now. And but something about the trailers, I haven't been interested in the movie, so it means something that you would have gotten something out of it worth watching. and I'm gonna go check it out now.
Well, and yeah, you should, because the trailers and everything, it looks like a guy revenging his wife's death against pharmaceutical companies, kind of thing. But there is an interesting movie technique twist that the way they tell the story.
He was also in Game of Thrones, and he was wonderful in Game of Thrones.
Oh, and
That's where Bill
chastise
tells
me. I
me.
should have mentioned that to begin with. I was sharing my personal experience, but you're absolutely right. He is known by to most from Game of Thrones.
So I had a real eclectic time. Vivo, the kids movie animation, and the My Sweet Girl. And then last night I watched Last Letter to My Lover. And it was just a romantic, not a comedy, just a romantic story. Nice little evening.
Is that a recommendation, or is that a bad habit there, Cheryl? What are you
Total
watching?
chick flick. It was a total chick flick. Drink a glass of wine and watch this. It's it's in two different eras, and it's kind of a cute
will you
little one.
appreciate me watching it with her, or will she just want to watch it by herself?
I think you could do it with.
Okay.
There's no sci-fi in it.
Oh, well, why would I watch it?
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's all right. That's cool. Last Letter to My Lover. Are all these on Netflix? And how do you spell Vivo? Vivo? Vivo.
Vivo.
Vivo. Vivo. In Spanish, it would be Vivo.
Vivo.
Like BB, but
That's
Vivo.
what. Yeah.
Vivo. Oh, you know what? I thought I saw that's on Netflix as well, or Disney. Am I breaking up again?
That one's on Netflix.
Okay.
Because I watched it on that. But I started another one on Prime called The Courier, and it's Cold War, Russia,
Well, that's
unexpected spy, and I just got started.
Well, we look forward to hearing back on whether it's worth watching or not. The Courier.
Right.
So, we can do recommendations first if you want. Is there anybody else out there that's got something they'd like to share? Since we're in it now.
What are you watching these days?
I've got a funny sci-fi one if you're into zombies. On Netflix, they've released the show. You got to watch it just because it is obviously a joint production from the United States and Mexico. It is a bicultural film, very, very much so. It's called Soldiers or Zombies, and I really wouldn't be bringing it up now except that bicultural aspect of it. Am I breaking up again? Can't.
No.
Okay. The bicultural aspect of it is very enjoyable. You spend a lot of time in Spanish with subtitles, but there's a lot of English as well. And it was very entertaining. And I wouldn't bring it up here, except my wife was the one that kept saying, this is crazy entertaining. There is gore. It is a zombie show. So there is gore in it. But some of the side plots are just really humorous and worth watching the show for. There's a whole side plot of this one zombie and all the trouble that he makes and gets in. And it arcs through like 3 different episodes. I don't want to give too much away, but it involves a cartel guy that just got out of prison, his young son, and a military force that ends up infected. And it's based out in the desert. And so there's a lot of kind of background and setting that with your San Carlos experience will feel familiar. Soldiers or Zombies. That's my recommendation from Netflix this week.
And I watched one on Netflix called Hit and Run,
Oh,
and it was pretty good. It's a one season series right now, but if you watch Fauda, the Israeli, about the Israeli team that, you know, if you watch Fauda, Fauda, it's the same guy that's in it. I can't remember his name, but anyway, Hit and Run. I thought it was good.
I'm not familiar with Fauda. I've seen some advertisements for Hit and Run.
Fauda's really good. I really enjoyed it, but again, it's pretty violent, but I thought it was good.
Awesome.
Scott, what was the name of the movie?
Hit and Run.
Yeah, but Scott, what was the name of yours? It wasn't Soldiers and Zombies, was it?
Soldiers or Zombies.
Oh.
Soldiers or Zombies, and it's a TV series. It's the first season, and it was made specifically for Netflix. And it's gory. So if you're watching with grandkids, I don't know. It's TVMA, so it's up to you. Mature adults, mature audiences, because of which I am.
I watched the next series of Grace and Frankie. That was a couple of weeks ago, I guess. But
is that a new series?
They just added. It was a short one. It was only like a 5.
Oh, I meant, is it a new season? And you understood what I meant. I'm sorry, Cheryl. Didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. Yeah, it was the next season, but it was a short season. It was only like 5 episodes, and I don't know. I think Grace and Frankie's getting a little old. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first bit.
I thought at the end of the first, whatever it was, season 3 or whatever, I was pretty bored with it. So
it wasn't Hit and Run in New Orleans, and involved the judge and his son.
No,
the Hit and Run is actually a new TV series
on Netflix, and it's set in New York, I believe. It's got, the guy's name is Lior, Lior something. I can't remember what his last name is. Let's see. Lior Raz, R-A-Z. And he was the star of Fauda, Fauda, on Netflix. And that's an Israeli movie. And then Hit and Run.
So is Hit and Run, is that an Israeli production?
Let's see.
He's taken his stardom from Israel and he's gone to Hollywood? Is that what that is?
Maybe. No, I don't think so. This is, what kind of, I mean, it's in New York and Tel Aviv, so.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's similar to this Soldiers and Zombies. Maybe it's a joint production between the United States and Israel.
Yeah, maybe. It's about this guy whose wife is killed in a hit and run accident in Tel Aviv. And then it goes to New York, so.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
She was a CIA operative.
Don't give it away.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers, Chester.
Demony. Yeah. I'm glad I watched the whole thing.
Well, I will forget the plot point by the time I watch it, I'm sure.
That's good.
Hey, Mom, glad to see you could make it. How are you doing? Everything's good in Alaska?
Come on. It's sunny right now. It's going to get up to 59. Renters are moving out this weekend, some of them. So it's busy around here,
Oh, wow.
but the weather's lovely.
That sounds great. We just had a whole bunch of rain pass through. We had rain all night, rain and lightning all night. But woke up and it started clearing up and school's a go. So Emily's in school right now. Took her to Wymus this morning, avoiding puddles and being careful in traffic. But we got there and school's open.
Was there a lot of wind with the rain?
Oh boy, there was. In fact, I was ready for us to
Really?
lose electricity. You guys don't know, we've gone through a series of power outages over the last 2 weeks. We've had probably
Oh,
three.
really?
Yeah, we've probably had 3 power outs in the last 2 weeks. We had a brownout and then 2 specific, and I think it's just my area. In fact, the last 2 times I've called the CFE to report. It's been my street and the neighboring street, and it only goes about a block down the road, and everybody else has power. So I'm immediately calling the CFE. I'm like, nobody else is going to report this but me. We could sit here for hours without power if I don't report this. But fortunately, last night, no power problems. We made it through the night. We're supposed to have a cooler day. It's supposed to stay in the 80s today.
The end of
Sounds
next
hot.
week, we should be getting some rain in Colorado from Hurricane Nora or Tropical Depression or whatever she is now, Nora.
We're supposed to get it tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good.
It missed us. It seemed to hit most everything else, but it missed Alaska.
Alaska just sidestepped the hurricane. Just a little shuffle to the left.
Same with
Yeah,
the fires.
It's been a long time since we had a hurricane in Alberta, too.
Hey, but when
Tornadoes,
you
we
do, we
some-
all need to be listening because that's the planet telling us something.
Yeah, we do have tornadoes. Last week there were a couple of tornado watches. Today we're having thunder showers and quite a bit of wind. The good thing is the smoke is pretty well. I should take something and be careful. But our smoke has settled down.
I gotta go. Bye bye.
Go take
Bye,
care of
Paul.
your bugs there, Paul.
Is it me?
He's
Did
on
I-
it. He's tracking bugs. He's got a termite appointment.
I see.
He's got to see a man
Oh,
about
boy.
termites.
So, Cheryl, we have smoke again in Colorado, so it's going to be coming your way.
Well, ours is coming from BC, and yes, there's a lot. We have San Carlos friends that were leaving northern British Columbia Sunday, and making their way back to Vancouver Island. And so see how they do.
Well, come on over. It's lovely here today. I'll feed you lunch.
There you go.
Oh, that sounds good.
Well, I'm in my office all day today. Already this morning, I had an hour-long appointment with my doctor on Zoom. And after we finished a computer club, I'm going to log into a live stream of a funeral that I otherwise would have had to travel 3.5 hours to get to. Technology, I'm going to be able to attend the funeral, remotely. So the church the church just has a live stream going and for the whole time. So be able to see everything and experience it. Yeah.
That's one of the things I think that is really going to go forward in the future is this ability to connect online and do, live streams for people who live far away or are elderly and can't make it, and so they can say goodbye to loved ones. That's remarkable.
Yeah, they're going to be continuing to do that, I think, and weddings. You're going to attend weddings and funerals via video. I think it was rare in the past, but I think it's going to be mainstream.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
Okay, some computer
Wonder if
topics.
that'll come up.
Cheryl, you had mentioned you've got new accessories for your iPad. Is this the new
Yes,
iPad?
I've been Amazon shopping. Yes, I don't have my new iPad in my case yet. I have the old one because I've had a really hard time ordering cases because I have a 4th generation iPad and I have an 8th generation iPad. And I order things that are supposed to be for 8th gen and they come and they don't fit. So I ordered from Cooper Cases, and the list is long. It's iPad Pro, iPad 8, 9, all these things. And what it is, it just hooks over the 4 corners. So it's in there, but it stretches, and the stretching and the Velcro is really stiff. So I think it's going to be good, but you can put that.
Oh.
It's got a place for the pen to hold in it. It's got a padded case. When you flip it back, it's got the handle that you can put in so you can hold it this way. It's got a lot of really neat things. What I love, it was $8 Canadian, like $5 to you guys. And it's really good. It's got a couple of different straps. You can shoulder strap it. You can do whatever to it. And it says that it fits a wide range of. Now, if you're going to use your camera or anything, you're going to have to take it out of this case, but because it doesn't have the right holes or anything for it. But so far, so good. I also ordered a tailor-made for your tablet tempered screen protection, $14 on Amazon, delivered within a day. So I was quite amazed.
So, Cheryl, on my case, I'm really hooked on Fintie, Fintie.
Yeah.
They have a really good customer support, and I just ordered one for my new iPad, and it's got a place for the pencil, even though I don't like the pencil and I don't have a new pencil.
Uh-huh.
But I do have an old pencil for my old iPad that I don't want anymore. So,
cool.
So
Uh,
if anybody's interested in a iPad pencil,
What generation?
I don't know.
Oh, because when I bought the iPad 8, it said compatible with, I think it was a Generation 1 pencil.
Gen 1.
That could be what mine is. That could be what mine is.
Here comes Fred. Hey, Cheryl, what was the name of your case cover for $8 Canadian, which is almost free in the United States?
Yeah. Cooper Cases,
Is that with a K or a C?
CO.
C-O. Cooper case.
Just been, I'll find the Amazon one, the order that I
Oh, that would be cool.
ordered it.
And Judy, if you're still with us, what was the name of your case that you enjoyed? Fintie?
Fintie. F like Frank, INTIE. I would show it to you, but it's on my iPad. And it does have holes for the camera and a space for your. So there's my iPad pencil.
Yeah.
It's still in the box. I've used it a few times. I don't see anywhere what it is.
Does it work fairly
as
well
far
in the
as
box?
generation goes. It doesn't work on my iPad at all now because I have a new iPad.
Oh, I thought the new one.
My iPad's still in the box.
That's interesting. Judy, are you saying that you have an iPad that supports the 2nd generation, but not the 1st generation?
Yeah, I have a brand. As far as I know, I really haven't tried it because they told me I needed a new iPad,
Or a new
or
pen.
a new
Pencil.
iPad Apple Pencil. I guess I should try it See if it works. Maybe it
I should
works.
look it up because it never even
knows?
occurred to me that the second generation equipment would not be compatible with the first generation pencils.
It's kind of like those magnetic plugs, you know. No, they do not work.
Huh.
Well,
So mine is called a Cooper Magic carry shoulder strap, and it's for 9.7, 10, 10.1 inch tablets. And it's vegan leather.
that means
wonder
it's
how they
fake
do
leather,
that.
right?
I know.
It means it's vinyl, but anyways,
I was reading on a shampoo bottle and it said vegan shampoo. Now, really? It doesn't have any pork fat in it or something, I guess.
okay.
No.
So it's vegan leather, black, and carry case for tip and tablets, and the reviews were really quite good. The other one was a Cooper Magic that I ordered too, and if I had read the reviews before I ordered it, it said right clearly that a Canadian person said does not fit my iPad Generation 8. So, I should read the reviews before you send the order away. But their return has been really, really good too. So,
Okay, Judy, you're talking vegan,
Yes.
vegan soap. I've seen gluten-free water advertised.
You have to pay extra for that, right?
I believe so. It's probably organic, gluten-free.
Probably.
Non-dairy. Don't forget.
They're not only
It's also non-dairy.
they're not happy just selling you water in a bottle. Now they got to up price it.
It's also keto-friendly water. It's non-dairy, keto-friendly, gluten-free, organic, vegan water.
Well, and they could start selling it to the anti-vaxxers instead of ivermectin. Is it? Whatever they're taking, you could sell them dihyde, and is it?
Oh, this sucks.
It is.
As we've been talking, I've
dioxide.
looked up the question about the generation pencil. And Judy, you're absolutely
Yes.
correct. The new generation cannot use the prior generation's pencil.
So this $100 US dollar pencil a few years ago has only been used a few times because I couldn't see the point. And
You look
That's
at the
funny.
end, Judy. That's where the point is.
I said, get it.
Well, Judy,
Smart.
that is,
It does
if
not
I
work.
understand correctly, the basic iPad that's being sold right now, the one that I recommend to people that are looking for a tablet, that supports
Right.
the first generation pencil. And so those are the people you're looking at trying to sell your pencil to if you're trying to get rid of it. Whereas I had no
Jump on
idea
it,
the
Cheryl,
second
jump on it.
generation equipment won't work
I was just
correctly.
about to ask.
Go ahead, Cheryl. Sorry, Bill.
I was just about to ask what the special Canadian consideration good friend computer club member pricing would be on that, Judy.
I don't know how much are they nowadays.
I just did the
I don't
conversion
know.
from dollars to Canadian dollars, and I think it's a really nice, like $1,000.
Thank you, Scott. I'll be sure and send your commission.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I don't know. Just let me know, Cheryl. I really don't want to ship it to Canada, though.
Now, well, I'm hoping to be in San Carlos November 28th. That's
Oh,
our
great.
anticipated date of arrival. So
Yay!
Well, I'll bring it with me.
there you go.
We'll be there if these damn Americans will let us over the line.
I don't know. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. It's
We'll
a good thing
see.
you all didn't go to Sturgis.
Sturgis. Ooh.
Did you see that the EU has taken the United States off the safe travel list?
Yeah.
I did.
So who knows?
And did you see
Bill?
that the United States have added a travel advisory against coming to Canada?
I
Hmm.
got that this morning. Yeah, because
I
you're
didn't
plagued
see
with
that.
COVID.
We are. Our rates are climbing every day, especially Alberta.
You know,
So
not to
is-
make this one,
So the
Well, in the US,
not
I
to
don't
make
know why
this the
Canadians
COVID
would wanna
meeting
drive
again.
across the United States.
but I was listening to the a news report from Israel, some in-depth. Oh, it looks like our call is going to end in 10 minutes. 10-minute
Oh, they gave us
warning.
a 10.
everybody
Last week was only a 5-minute.
I think they're just trying to shake us
Remind
up.
me when we're going?
They don't want it to fit into our agenda, so it's uncomfortable enough for us to purchase Surface. What they don't know is we don't have an agenda, and we can be disrupted at any moment.
We are
Does everybody
disrupted.
have the link to the next meeting? Fred, do you have it?
I just sent it.
Oh, good. There we go.
It's in the
Just
chat.
look
Fred.
in the chat for the next meeting link, and we've still got 10 minutes, so let's sit here for a while until we decide to switch over.
You know, Scott, you made a comment about the $8 case. If you convert that to American, that's pretty cheap. I figure if it gets any cheaper, they'll have to send you money.
Right? That just barely covers the shipping.
Oh, geez. I don't understand how Amazon can do some of that shipping. Like for $2 item, they'll ship it for free and they deliver it to your door. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And we've got a new Amazon facility in Hermosillo, so we'll be getting next day deliveries, they say.
Bill, they make up for it in volume.
Judy, I saw that. So you log into Amazon Mexico. Does your Prime account? No.
No,
Okay.
no. In fact, we've gone through round and round with this in the past. But essentially, what you have is a Prime account from Canada right now. That will allow you to use Amazon.ca to make purchases that could potentially be sent to Mexico. But whether they qualify for Prime or not is up to the individual item. And what the pricing is based on the Canadian marketplace. So it's based on whatever that goes for in Canada, plus whatever shipping is to Mexico.
Oh, geez.
And plus the VAT, I thought, in some cases.
Well, if you're buying from Canada, you'd be subject to whatever tax Canada puts on it.
Oh, okay. So Mexico isn't adding a VAT onto that either.
Not on a purchase made in the Canadian marketplace. And
Okay.
and thank you, because I feel like I'm really explaining this clearly, and we have fought to understand how this works. If you're a Prime member in Canada, that's how you take advantage of your Prime. You can buy in the US marketplace and you can buy in the Mexican marketplace using your Canadian Prime account. I'm sorry, here I am screwing it up. Your Canadian Amazon account. However, you don't qualify for Prime in Mexico or Prime in the United States. Those are two separate products that you can also buy at different pricing with different specifications. So like, for example, the Mexican Prime is much cheaper than the American Prime. I think we pay something like $40 a year for it.
Wow.
And in the United States, Prime is like $140 a year.
Right. It's $14 a month or something, right around that.
Yeah, something like that. And because I pay for both Primes, then I go back and forth between the US website and the Mexican website, trying to determine if the product I'm looking for is easier to deal with and cheaper buying it from one versus the other. Is this helping explain? Is this making sense how this works?
Well, I know we have our Amazon Prime is the Canadian, Amazon.ca. But Bill, we also have an Amazon US account, but it's not Prime?
No, you have an Amazon account. You have purchased Prime Canada. It is available to you whenever you're on the Canadian marketplace. So that would be Amazon.ca. You are able to use Amazon.com, the US site, and Amazon.mx, the Mexican site, because you're an Amazon customer. However, you don't own a Prime product for those two marketplaces.
So I only have on the Canadian, the .ca, the Prime eligible search part and pricing.
The music, the videos, and the shipping. Now, the shipping, you'll have things in your Canadian Prime that will qualify for shipping to Mexico. And so if you add your Mexican address to your address book and try and purchase things for Mexico, it'll become clear what things are available and what things are not.
Okay. So our Amazon Music that we have the account for, once we're connected in Mexico without a VPN, are we going to be able to access our Amazon Music?
This has been a difficult question to answer, and it's come up in the Computer Club before. I don't have a good answer. There is a bunch of music that's available because you're a Prime member. There's actually music that's available regardless of whether you're a Prime member.
Yeah.
I have had people like Bob Hicks, I don't know if you remember, who talked about being able to take advantage of his Prime Music account from the United States without a VPN.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's is accurate of information. I just remember that was his anecdotal experience. Was he got himself one of those portable speakers and he brought it down here and connected it up, and he was able to use music. I only bring him up because I'm having trouble thinking of another example like that at the moment. I'm sure there are other examples.
Well, we'll get an example for you when we get there, because we've got our dot echo, whatever.
I have corresponded with Amazon online about this topic and have been assured by Amazon that if you don't have Mexican Prime, then you won't be able to take advantage of Mexican Prime movies, which is absolutely true, or music, which is very gray because of Bob's experience.
So, Scott, when you access video movies through Amazon,
yes.
Do you find the same movies on your U.S. account as you do on your Mexican account?
No.
Similar?
But they're very similar
Okay.
catalogs, but it's obvious they're different catalogs.
Okay.
And I got to say that they are so similar, we don't even try and access the American catalog,
Okay.
U.S. catalog. If we want to watch something on Prime, many times it's there. And then we have Streamio. So I've never bothered to set up a VPN in my house.
So, Scott, is Amazon Prime the main reason? Is it for people to get Prime Video?
The main reason for Amazon Prime is to keep you paying a regular fee to Amazon.
Free shipping.
You broke up. I missed that.
The main reason for Prime is to keep you an Amazon customer paying a regular rate. And right now they're giving you videos, free shipping, and music. But their goal is that you keep paying them monthly or annually. And so they're going to keep offering things like the Prime photos. I keep having this conversation with people about backing up their photos. I don't want to be in a subscription service. I don't want to buy the Google storage. I'm like, why haven't you put them on Prime? All your photos can go on Prime. They have no limit on the number of photos you can put on Prime, and you can put the highest quality photos you have.
Well.
It works well enough. It works well enough that you can install the app and back up all your photos and And my other
Exactly.
point with this is, when are you going to stop
Up.
being a Prime customer?
We need to switch. We need to
About to
switch.
end. All right, I'll meet you guys on the other side. Disconnecting now. Hope everybody's got the link.
It worked this time.
You all are like pros.
No, we're here.
Look at this.
Cool.
That was very painless.
Before we go much further, you're talking Amazon Photo or
Amazon Photos.
Okay, because you said Amazon Prime, and what I'm thinking is you meant Amazon Photo.
Well, actually, what I meant was Prime Photos.
Prime Photo? Okay, now we got another word.
Yeah, because part of your Prime subscription gives you unlimited storage for your photos.
All right.
You're not paying anything extra for it. They just added it on, just adding more value to keep you a monthly or annual subscriber.
Speaking of which, when I got the iPad set up, or went to set up the iPad, Apple told me that I had 3 months free Apple TV
Right.
and Apple Music. But my offer will expire exactly 3 months. Like, I can't choose the 3 months that I want to do it. I have this offer is good for from now till.
Cheryl, are you certain? I would double check that, because a lot of those offers, and I don't know. I haven't bought an Apple product in a long time. But,
Well, it says
many
it
of those
expired.
offers, they start when you sign up for them.
That's what I understood, because I keep getting the notifications that I have 3 free months to try out movies or whatever it is. And it starts when you sign up.
Well, it says to me that this offer expires. It says redeem 3 months free, expires 11/28.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's exactly included with your recent iPad purchase. Expires 11/28. Redeem
Wait.
3 months free, Apple Arcade, Apple TV Plus, and
Cheryl, that 11/28, that sounds like they've given you 3 months to redeem it.
that's right.
But you will get 3 months after you redeem it.
So I have up until November 28th to sign up for a 3-month period.
You might want to shoot us a picture of it just so that we could all take consensus on it. But the way you're reading it, that's what it sounds like.
Included with your recent purchase, expires 11/28. Redeem 3 months free or decline. So I guess I could leave it sitting there till November 1st and take
Right.
it for November, December, January. But I think I have to sign up before the end of November.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think the moment you sign up for it, then you're going to get 3 months from that moment.
That's right. That's right. So I don't have to do it today, but I have to do it within 3 months of purchasing it.
Keep in mind, I do not represent Apple and won't be held accountable if this doesn't work.
So Apple Arcade and Apple TV Plus free. Now, at the same time, we have our iCloud terabyte, whatever, that we're sharing. And my Google Mail keeps telling me that I'm about to run out of space in my Google Mail and I won't be able to receive any of my mail. So, Google now wants me to buy storage, not just for my photos, but for my mail.
Are you out of space? Like, when you look at your mail, does it tell you you're out of space?
Okay, where's the last one I got? I keep getting these just about every day.
I wouldn't trust an email. I would trust the storage meter on your email account. If you bring up your email, where's the storage meter?
It's right on the top. Okay, I have an alert. It says your storage is almost full, 91%. Gmail requires storage to let you send and receive emails. To continue using Gmail, free up some space or buy more storage. and then I can go to manage storage. It comes up at the top of my screen before my inbox.
Okay. All right. No, it does sound like that is a lot. I mean, you get like 15 gigabytes of free storage. So I wonder what else you've used in your email. What have you gotten some large attachments you're aware of?
Probably, and I can go and clean them up. But are they using? Is it just my mail storage, or is it my photos and everything?
The way I understand it, it's all the same thing now. This happened back in June.
So the Google Drive.
Yeah, that's the way I understand it, is that everything's under that 15 gigabytes.
Okay, well, our live meeting doc is on my Google Drive, and it's taking up space.
It shouldn't be. It should be on my drive because it's shared with you. You have access to my document, even though it's only taking up like 10K it's taking up like 1/10 of a megabyte of space, but it's taking up my space, not your space.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless you save a copy, which is actually hard to do on Google Docs. Like you have to intentionally go and make a copy for yourself on your drive. When in reality, this doc shows up in your Google Drive without you having your own copy. You have access to it whenever you want. You can edit it whenever you want. It's just not taking up your space. It's taking up my space.
Okay.
So Cheryl,
Uh-huh.
I got an email that says your new Apple device gets you 3 months free of Apple TV Plus. So you read it and it says, accept 3 months free, must redeem within 90 days of activation.
There you go. Yeah, so you've got 3 months.
But that's just for Apple TV.
Must redeem within 90 days of activating your
device.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I have a Sirius Radio, XM radio Sirius issue that I'd like to discuss.
Sure.
Maybe helpful.
Are we done with the Apple TV? You know, Cheryl, also the Apple TV would be whatever it is for Canada. Right now, I don't think they have any licensed distributions issues in any of their countries. I think it's all original content, so they can put it. But still, you're at a Canadian terms of service because of the way we do things. Just throwing that out there, just adding a little bit. I don't think we've got any more to say about this topic, though. Apple TV, 90 days to.
Well, we were doing Apple, but we were doing Prime Photo, and we were doing Google Mail. So
that's right.
They were kind of all together. But
we kind of mixed them all together.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Sirius
Chester.
For several years, I've been upset that Sirius Radio would automatically charge my credit card, and I would seem to have nothing and no ability to do anything about it. And this year, again, their regular charges are really quite extensive, something like $250 a year.
Right.
Let's say $20 a month. So I called my bank and they said, well, they can't do anything. You should call Sirius Radio. So I called them and they wouldn't do anything. So I canceled. And because I was within a few days of this charge, and they said, oh, before you cancel, would you be interested in an offer? And I said, well, give me an offer and I'll see what it is. Well, they cut it in half, which I thought was kind of interesting, and they probably would cut it further had I argued with them. But what I did learn is that, and I've made a note on my calendar, before it comes up for a renewal next year, I want to cancel before the closing date. And so that's what I wanted to mention to you. If you subscribe to Sirius Radio, you may want to set up a date so that you cancel prior to the expiration.
You don't really have to cancel either. You just tell them that you're going to cancel, and then they'll send you over to retention or something like that. And I think mine this time was going to be $60 for the year.
Wow, what a difference in pricing.
It's ridiculous.
So there's a lot of latitude apparently on their end.
Well, $60 is a fourth of what they charge me.
So we'll see what happens in February when my service comes due.
This sounds very familiar to the DirecTV, cable TV model of retention, where they don't have a cancellations department. They send you to some guy trying to keep you in the service.
Exactly. So the other thing I did, Chester, was I did have the ability to make up a fake credit card that was attached to my real account, and you could set the expiration date so that they can't renew it. But then they were doing it anyway, even though the expiration date on the credit card was almost a year out of date, they were still able to charge it. So that method did not work.
Otherwise, you have a credit card on an account that doesn't have enough money in it, that doesn't work because they charge you anyway.
Exactly.
You know, in that same philosophy, and I don't know if this works or not, but it seems like, doesn't PayPal have a credit card now? I mean, we should look at the features of the PayPal credit card, because if that was one of the features, that might be the good reason to have one, is just one-time credit card number.
You can go onto PayPal, and there is a way that you can block future charges against your credit card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, and they don't tell you about it, but you can Google it and find out how to do that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That might make a good follow-up for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to look into it and haven't. Go ahead, Judy. I'm sorry.
PayPal has created so many different fees and structures, and I've been trying to deal with it with some people that have been sending me U.S. money and trying to make donations to things in Mexico and stuff. And I'm getting just so frustrated with PayPal. The amount that they charge a transaction fee, then their exchange rate is absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's
I
always try and. Sorry, Chester. All I was going to say is
I have a very good feature.
A very good what?
I use a very good feature in PayPal, and that's when I need to get money to one of my grandchildren, you can do it free of charge through PayPal. And that's very handy, and it sure beats wire transfer and that type of thing.
Yeah, if I can get the people to agree to do the friends and family transfer of money, then it's a little bit cheaper.
It's free.
But sometimes they're reluctant to do that if they're, for example, I have not been able to use my timeshare, so I have been renting out my timeshare. So they want some sort of a reassurance that, you know, if they have to cancel, they can get their money refunded and things like that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so some of them have been okay with the friends and family, which is fine, but the exchange rate is then, like I say, a lot worse. So we've gone to, if people will just mail me a friggin' check, it's easier, you know, like, because I have a U.S. bank account. But
hey, Cheryl, you know, one of the things that I do with the bed and breakfast is when I confirm with people, when I'm setting, I have a form letter in email I send them, and it includes our check routing number. And I really encourage them to route us money.
Yeah, well, but that's hard from U.S. banks to Canadian banks, and especially since mine are credit unions, not national banks. So there's a few different things. Believe me, we've tried different ways, but it's a bunch of different things. But PayPal has a cash transfer one now called Zeno, ZXNMO or something. Or Zeno.
Not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's not the Venmo. Some people ask me if I can do Venmo, and that's not available to Canadians. But
Nor Mexicans. We don't have Venmo down here either.
right. But PayPal's
It's very popular though. What was that?
I'm just looking up what PayPal's new thing is.
Have we got any other topics? I'm still looking at the topics list. I keep making notes of stuff we've been talking about. I don't know
Well,
if
we
you
have an
guys
extra
saw this.
hour, we can talk about Afghanistan.
Oh,
Well,
Isn't that
let's
something?
save that for the political podcast, Chester. Unless you've got a computer angle on it.
We are out of Afghanistan. The bottom line is the war in Afghanistan is over for the United States. That is the bottom line. And they did a really good job with what they had to work with. So I don't want to hear any negative about it, period. And if it happens, I'm out of here. That's how I feel. He made a commitment.
Fred, I
he got
just
us
saw
out.
your message. Do you still not have sound?
I saw that too earlier.
I hope Fred can
well,
hear
I
us.
don't
He's
see
still
Fred's
there.
picture and he's muted. So,
Hey, I just stuck a link in the chat for an article that Bill was sharing earlier about ghost guns, 3D printed guns. And if you don't read the article, that's fine. There's a great video interview, in-depth interview that is totally worth watching as they build a ghost gun together and take it out to a 3D printed gun shoot that happens regularly. It's when we talk about gun control, what was I watching this morning? I was watching something about the way Switzerland does their. Is it Switzerland? It's Sweden. It's Switzerland, isn't it? That is so notorious for having great gun regulation and a huge gun population. And then you look at the way we do things. There isn't a serial number on these things at all. There's no way to track these guns. And they're just printed in your basement from your 3D printer. And you add some metal parts to it and file them down to make their own gun. So this is a very hobbyist thing to do. And I recommend watching the video on it because it's very interesting to see this whole. It kind of reminded me. I mean, if it wasn't guns, if you took the gun part out of it, it reminded me of any other hobby convention that you might have, like RC cars, RC planes, something like that, where people have been creative and they've brought their talents together and they're kind of trying to decide who's got the best versions of things. Just happens to be for printing out weapons.
And the scary thing is that they look like toys.
Well, actually, you can order gun kits that have no serial numbers. That's one of the problems.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think this brings up a lot of political issues in the gun discussion. But what I found fascinating was this whole subculture that are creative people. This is what they've chosen to be creative in. And the journalist went on this journey. He decided he wanted to participate in their gun competition. And he started at square zero without any knowledge and went through all the steps with being guided by somebody that does it regularly. And the pitfalls that he would run into building his own gun. And one of the things I thought he made really clear in his journey was that I couldn't just print out a gun. I mean, we're not at that point yet where even if I had a 3D printer, I would have to be both very proficient at 3D printing and gunsmith to be able to make a good, accurate weapon that would be useful. And I think he made that very clear throughout this journey he was on, that that he really needed to be handheld into that world. He couldn't just decide he wanted to print out a gun. Anyway, if you want to check it out, here I'm trying to mute Mom's background noise there. And
Is she cooking?
I don't know what she's doing.
I thought I heard something sizzling.
She's making our lunch, Cheryl.
Yes, I was going to say we've been invited for lunch, so maybe she's sizzling something. I
had my microphone off, so I don't think it was me, unless somebody else turned me off.
Your son muted you.
I muted you because you had background noise.
Sorry about that. My only contribution to the 3D printer is I just had a crown replaced, and my dentist made my new crown with his 3D printer.
I was going to say, I really like 3D printers when it comes to medical things and that, way more than guns. But yeah, the hobbyists and things like that, it's an interesting thing. I found what I was looking for about PayPal. It's send cash to any country to be picked up in that country. And it's called XOOM. So I put a link to that in the thing, but I don't know how you say XOOM, but it's something that I can do. And the fees for sending Canadian money to somebody in the US were much cheaper than doing it through PayPal. And it was going to be a bank transaction, or I could send it to an ATM. It was a lot of different choices. But Mexico's on there and US is on there.
Oh, that's interesting.
So this is not through PayPal. Okay. Oh, it does say PayPal.
Well, it's a PayPal service.
Under PayPal, under my PayPal account, I had all these choices for send in, request money. And under the send, it said send cash to this set of countries. And there's a list of about 12 of them. So they also have another one called Honey. And what it is, it's like coupons. And you're signing up for like another discount coupon thing. Meanwhile, we're talking technology and ordering and shipping and all that kind of stuff. We go into Costco because we're trying to get prices for tires, because hopefully we're traveling. And Costco tells me that if I wait for Labor Day sale, order them online on Labor Day, all tires 20% off at Costco. So, wow. I was going in there with an offer that I had, a dated offer in September, and he said, yeah, but you don't want to use that one. You want to use this one. Go online on Monday, September 6th, and order them there, and they'll deliver them to our shop and get them installed here. So.
Well, that's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
I want to make a note of that. Costco Labor Day sale on tires. Go ahead, Bill.
I wanted noted that about a year ago, my wife was adamant that she would never, ever use anything in the Costco account. She can't really conceive of anything that she would buy. And between that and Amazon, we've spent the children's inheritance, I'm sure.
3 times over. The other technology thing that's happening in our house right now is we have contractors coming, hopefully, Thursday and Friday to build a back deck. But before they can do that, they have to know where all of the lines and everything are. So 3 weeks ago, they put a request into a company that's called One Call. And One Call is here today, doing all the scanning of figuring out where our gas lines, our electricity, everything that's buried in our land, our Shaw, internet, telephone lines. And he's sensing right now in the yucky weather in our yard, getting it all done for tomorrow. So.
I hope he doesn't scan where all the bodies are.
Yeah, there you go.
All the bodies, right? Do we have any other
Moles. They're all
topics?
moles.
Moles and bodies. That's what would come out of
I
your
had a
yard.
question for Sandy. Sandy, do you plan to return to San Carlos?
Someday. No, we are planning on coming down around the 22nd of November. We'll come down for, let's see, Emily has a birthday, and then we have Thanksgiving, and then Viviana has a birthday, and then we have Christmas. So we'll come down and stay through Viviana's birthday and maybe a little longer, and then go back to Arizona. And Scott's family will come up and join us, and we'll go to Pine Top for Christmas. So we'll have hopefully a snowy Christmas.
Hopefully.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. So that's our plans for San Carlos right now.
So when do you leave Alaska?
The 4th of November.
And you're going to fly to
Mesa.
Mesa.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking at a flight from Mesa to Edmonton. They do a direct flight out of Mesa in January. We'll come home for a week
Yeah.
in January to do a few things, squeeze a few grandchildren. Head back.
Oh, hey, before I forget,
Although I don't
and
know if she'll be here, the 18-year-old, but her birthday is in January.
I was going to say, before I forget, I
Uh-oh.
stuck
What?
it in the document, but Sid made a recommendation for a podcast that I started listening to. I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, but what's interesting about it is that it's with Chelsea Manning, who is a security consultant now. If you don't remember, Chelsea Manning was Bradley Manning, the one that leaked the was it Iraq or Iran? Gosh, I'm having trouble remembering it now. The one that got in trouble for giving Julian Assange the information from no, it's Afghan. It's Afghanistan, isn't it? It's the footage where they were bombing journalists and leaked that out of government and was held as a traitor to the United States and was finally not pardoned but released. She was finally released. I don't think she was pardoned. Anyway, she's a security consultant now, and she was on a podcast called How to Protect Yourself in the New World. And I will provide this link. It was a very interesting conversation. I think that she did a very good job of explaining some fundamentals that you will relate to, because we've talked about it in the past in club, but brought up some stuff that maybe you haven't been thinking about, how to protect yourself in this world that we're in right now, the kind of fundamentals everyone should kind of be practicing. And I will add it to our podcast recommendation list. I was hoping Sid would be here, but he has sent it to me ahead of time. And I just stuck it in our chat link there.